So this has a really soft spot in my heart because I met my husband online back in 2015. It's a really cool story that I will get into on this video. Just to summarize what we're going to talk about, I wanted to jump on here and share some of my big tips that aren't the most obvious. Also quickly share my story with my husband and get you guys motivated and excited and believe in the possibilities of what online dating can bring. I think that's the most important thing. Let's get excited and let's jump right in. So, like I said, I met my husband in 2015 online. This was before things really got as popular online. At the time, I was really nervous about sharing with people that I was online dating. So let me start with my biggest tip, hand over the reins. So when you're online dating, you're obviously putting yourself out there, you're creating your profile, and you're really relying on that algorithm to connect to you based off of what you filled in with your perfect match. You are being trusted to input who you authentically are on there, putting in your photos, more information about you, etc. You are in charge of putting in there who you are and what you're looking for. Please continue to do that. My big thing is after that point is completed, hand over the reins. This is where you post your profile and you let the algorithm work for you, which is amazing. I'm so grateful for the algorithm. And then give someone that is very close to you in your life permission to pick your matches based on the algorithm. So let me quickly share my online dating success story just so you guys are aware of how big of a deal this is. So like I said, I met my husband back in 2015 online. I won't say which dating app it was, but I did pay for 1 month on this app and I did my thing. I signed up, I filled in my profile, and I didn't tell anyone about it. I had years of dating the wrong people, so I was finally ready to get serious and sign up for a dating app that actually cost money. I'm not saying you have to, but that is what I chose to do. And when I did decide to do that, I didn't want to share it with many people. That's up to you who you want to share this with. You don't need to broadcast it out there. It's whatever you're comfortable with. So I had signed up, did all the stuff. Algorithm was sending me matches and it wasn't working out. I was not intrigued, excited, or interested in anyone that popped up. It honestly was a little bit depressing, as most of you can probably relate, and I was over it. So after 1 week of sorting through the matches, I thought, you know what, I'm done. This isn't working. Oh well, paid for 1 month, whatever. So that weekend, I just so happened to be going on a family trip with my younger brother and a couple friends and family. I am actually really close with him. He's 2 years younger than me. So I was vulnerable enough to tell him about my online dating shenanigans and that I had signed up for 1 month and decided it was a no-go. So, like my brother usually is, extremely blunt and honest, he was like, "You're an idiot. Why would you sign up for 1 month and only do a week? Reactivate it. I'll pick the guy. Give me your laptop. I know you brought it on the trip." Later that night, we reactivated it and went on there, and he picked 2 guys. And the 2 guys he picked, I had already seen on there. They came up as matches. I had already viewed their profiles, and I thought, no, they're both no's. Why are you bringing them up to me again? I didn't like their photos. Something about their profiles, it just didn't look good to me. Didn't seem like a good fit. So my brother said, nope, those are good ones. Let's message them. So we actually messaged them right away. Long story short, I went on dates with both of them, and one of them happened to be my husband. So if it weren't for my brother picking Seth out, I would not be with Seth. I would not have picked Seth. And I know the photos to this day that I thought were just so weird. I judged his profile, which is so easy to do. You do not know these people. It is all text and images online. Nothing personal. And I think that's my big takeaway is we do not know what is best for us. And we need someone that we are extremely close with to do that for us. I really, really want this to hit home for you guys that have been online dating for a long time now with no luck. Your picker is off. So Patty Stanger, she had that famous show, Millionaire Matchmaker. She would always say your picker is off. And that's why she would do the work. She was their matchmaker. Your picker is broken. I completely agree with her in my case. My picker was broken. I needed someone that knew me better than probably me at the time to go in and pick for me. So that's tip number 1. Let someone do this for you. If you're vulnerable enough to put yourself out there online, you can be vulnerable enough to let a close family member or friend go on there and do this for you. I promise you it's worth it. If you're already putting in all this time and effort going on dates with the wrong people, you need to give this a shot. And then my second big tip that also goes with my story is do not talk to these people for long periods of time before meeting up with them. This is a huge one. Do not spend more than a week messaging back and forth with someone. I understand maybe it might take a week or 2 or 3 to actually settle down a time to meet up, but messaging someone back and forth creates a picture of this person in your head, an expectation based off of your conversations. And that picture or story you're creating, it's based on nothing at this point. Before I met Seth, I had messaged with one person for a month or 2 and finally met up with him. And it was the hugest letdown because he wasn't who I thought he was. He didn't fit the picture I painted in my own head. And that's what I appreciated when my brother and I messaged Seth. It was a quick back and forth, and we set up a date and time, met up for happy hour, and that was the end of it. It was short and sweet. I mean, it is a little weird to meet up with someone after barely chatting with them. Yes, that's true. And I, of course, want everyone to be safe. Obviously, you're going to be meeting in public. No one's going to pick you up at your house, but that's critical. Do not waste your time messaging back and forth with someone. They already matched with you through the algorithm for a reason. So it is best to do a quick debrief message, set up a time to meet or a FaceTime to meet, and go from there. Don't waste your time. All right, next tip. Be genuine and authentic from the start. That means on your first date, be very clear from the start who you are, what you're looking for, and listen to your pings, listen to your intuition, your gut. Listen to what it's telling you. When I met my husband, it felt like home right in that minute. I felt like I was home, like he was my home. It's hard to explain, really. And I know that sounds dramatic and, I wouldn't say love at first sight, that type of thing. It just felt comfortable and it felt right. And when I say listen to your intuition, I don't mean fear-based judgment. That is not intuitive. And I'll give you an example. When my husband and I went on our first date, which was happy hour turned into dinner, we shut the restaurant down. It was a great night. Like I said, we shut the restaurant down. So the bill was kind of pricey. And I, inauthentically, I guess you could say, offered to split the bill with him, but I really didn't want to. I wanted him to be a gentleman and just pay for it. And he took me literally, which we laugh about to this day, and we split the bill. From his perspective, he thought, oh wow, she's a strong woman. That's awesome. If she wants to split it, sure. I mean, happy to split it with her. And for me, I was offering, but I didn't want to split it. And I walked away from that date, and I remember telling my mom and a few friends, it was a great date. I had the most amazing time, but he let me split the bill. What? And that's ridiculous. I mean, my husband is extremely generous, and it's just funny to me that I let that little thing bog up my judgment of him. Of course, listen to your intuition, listen to the red flags, the pings, like I've talked about before, your intuitive pings that come up. But if you have some sort of fear-based stuff popping up or something that's a trigger from a previous relationship, that type of thing, just be very aware. Be very cognizant of that, and just remember that this is a fresh new person. So you need to be authentic and clear from the start. And then my last tip, which of course is obvious, but I need to reiterate this because I also wouldn't have met my husband if I didn't love myself first and work on myself first. So this is the most important thing, is if you can't love yourself, you won't be able to love another person. Loving yourself is mission critical. If you don't love yourself, and if you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself, you are not going to attract that right person. into your life. I had to embody the qualities that I was looking for in someone else. I had to be the thing that I was seeking. I had to be that person to myself in order to attract them to me, if that makes sense. Again, this goes back to, I guess, manifestation, but alignment. You have to align with that person in order for them to even come into your life in the first place. You have to align, you have to elevate your vibration, you have to love yourself, because that will align you with who you are trying to call in. That's a vibe. Like I say, raise your vibration. But when you meet someone in person, you are going to connect right away if you're on the same vibration, if you're on the same wavelength. If you both love yourselves, you can love each other. If you're beating yourself up inside, if you're not taking care of yourself, if you are judging yourself, all of that stuff, everything in your life is a mirror. Everything that you're putting out is going to come back. Even in my healthy relationship with my husband, some of the things that he does that bother me, it's a reflection of what bothers me in myself. So be extremely mindful of that. Loving yourself, taking care of yourself, and being that person to yourself will actually bring in that person for yourself. My favorite thing to remember is you don't need someone to complete you. You are completing yourself already. You just need someone that complements you. And you don't need someone. You would like to align with someone that complements you, and you are complimenting them. It's a beautiful thing. I just wanted to say that I know online dating is not fun. I know that it's time consuming, it's emotional, it's a roller coaster. I think if you really open up your heart, be truly vulnerable, and know that we're all in this together. We are all one. The person you're going out with, or you meet up with someone for a random date and let's say it wasn't what you expected. Well, the other person's in the same boat as you. It gets uncomfortable, but just know that when your heart is open, good things will come. Being vulnerable, opening your heart, and trusting the process will not lead you in the wrong direction. Get excited, get refreshed. If you need to take a couple steps back, get offline in order to jump back on with more power, more positivity, more excitement, then take a break and come back. But don't give up. Bring in the people closest to you. You're not alone in this. And the people closest to you, they want this for you. And they have a fresh pair of glasses on. Yours are foggy. And that is the most important thing I want to tell you is rely on the people in your circle. Rely on them. They are there for a reason. They know what's best for you. Like I said, my brother spoke at our wedding, and we give him all the kudos. We have 2 kids now. It's a blessing that I had that random awkward conversation with him. So please give it a shot. You got this.